Walmart, the cause of small business closure. This is a presentation of my research project on how Walmart has caused small businesses to close over the years that they have been around. Some history on Walmart is that the first store was opened July 12th of 1962 by Sam Walton. When Sam Walton first started out, he started out as a man that owned a small discount store. He wanted to expand this idea to bring better deals, discount prices to people all over the United States. The company rapidly grew and is still rapidly growing to this day because of their great prices, their savings catchers, the price match guarantee, the variety that they have, some convenience. They have convenience of banks, nail salons, hair salons, Subways, and some Pizza Huts. It just depends on where the store is located. They have been number one on the Fortune 500 for a few years now because they offer such good prices and the price match. No other companies have been able to compete with them because of these prices that are very, very low compared to any other company. The problem. The problem with Walmart is that small businesses small businesses around them have been forced to close. They cannot compete with Walmart because Walmart orders their product in bulk. And when they order their product in bulk, they are allowed to or able to offer low prices. With these low prices and their price match guarantee and their savings catcher, they are able to appeal to a large group of people. And this is done because nowadays people look to save as much money as they possibly can. So if they can go to Walmart and pay the same price for any product that they see, even if it's a sale item from a Target or from a little town business, they're able to save that money still by going to Walmart because of the savings catcher. It goes online and it looks through all the sales ads, and then it goes through the receipt that you scan, and it will refund you your money that you then can use on future purchases. So in doing all of this in the savings catcher and the price match, lowest prices, ordering in bulk, and being able to afford to do this, they're eliminating their competition. Small businesses are closing because they cannot afford to pay their bills. They cannot afford to restock their product if their clients or their customers are not coming back in. The chart that you see here on this slide is the chart from statement number 1 in my survey. And statement number 1 in the survey was that small businesses suffer from Walmart's placement. This is very true because when a Walmart all of a sudden appears in the middle of town, a small business cannot compete with that because people will choose to go that short distance to Walmart to spend might be 50 cents or a dollar less than to go to the small town business that they normally would and spend that extra money. For my research, I have chose 3 different ways to approach it to get data. I decided that gathering information or facts on Walmart would help me to gain a greater overview of the company itself. What they want to do, what they aim to do, what they offer, how they allow many different companies to work inside their building. So for like example, the food places, the nail salons, the hair salons, the banks, this information that I found makes it a one-stop shop and allows customers to get more things done all at once, which is really affecting the small businesses. I chose also observations. Observations were me going to the stores, so I went to a few different Walmarts and I went to a few different small businesses in my area. And from this, I've gained observation that Walmart, they're a big corporation, so they are fast paced. They have a set script that the checkout people say to you. Whereas compared to a small town business, you go in and it's more personal because they are the ones that are going to be affected if their business doesn't make it. They're going to be affected if you don't come back and buy something. They can't afford to keep that business open. Lastly, I did a survey, and my survey had 40 questions or 40 statements and 5 options for each, which were strongly agree, neutral, disagree, or strongly disagree. And I passed this survey out to about 10 people. And talking more about the survey, I had 10 participants because the time frame I had to research this project was 6 weeks. So 10 participants were a good number of people to gain a good amount of data to support the hypothesis and to give you some data and to support all of this so that you can kind of see some graphs and charts and stuff. If I were to do it for the entire company as a whole, I would need at least 384 participants to take this survey and then to analyze the data from. The strategies that I used were from email. I emailed my survey out to the participants, and then they would email it back to me. I would call them on the phone and go through the whole survey with them, which then allows you to have a little more personal contact with them. You get better answers. You can kind of make it so they're comfortable instead of just, oh, this is a survey, let me just fill it out quick and get it done. I also did some in person, went and met up with some people, some business owners, and a manager from Walmart. It kind of helps you get a feel for the work environment and how they run stuff too, not just getting your answers. The limitations from this research was a short time frame. Since we did only have 6 weeks to gain all this information and to get a good amount of data, the short time frame limits us to only having the 10 people instead of the large amount that we would need to effectively present our findings. So with 10 people, we can still effectively do it with a wide variety of people. Like I gave out my surveys to managers, business owners, employees, and customers. So I got a wide variety, which is what you would need from many people to gain the right, accurate information. The mood of the people that you talk to or the participants that you talk to is very important. If they're sad or mad, happy, it will really affect the answers and how much time they're going to spend on your survey to give you accurate answers. If they're having a bad day, for small business owners, if they've had a really bad day with sales, not very many customers are coming in, they can't make a bill, that will really affect how they answer questions against Walmart. And Walmart, if they're backed up, have a lot of work running through orders, very busy, that's going to affect answers too, because that's going to make it so they rush through their survey and the answers may then just be all the same across the board. For my research, since we also did have a short time frame, I did it in a small area, so I did it in my area that I live in. So this presentation would be accurate for the Minnesota area as to Walmart's and small businesses, the cause and effect, and how Walmart's opening affects small businesses closing. For the overall data, the research information, I found the price match, the savings catcher, and the low prices really brought people in. That was their main selling point, along with they have a variety and the one-stop shopping. A lot of people like the one-stop shopping. If you can go to Walmart, you can get your banking done, you can get a haircut, get some food, get groceries, and some clothes, shoes, and everything that you need, why would you go anywhere else? But this is really what is affecting the small businesses because they don't have the means to offer all of this same services that Walmart does. The observation results that I gained were the customer services are a lot different because in a big corporation like Walmart, they're scripted, like I stated earlier. You are expected to have a set conversation with your customers, which the customers are saving money, they're getting all their shopping done at once, so it doesn't really affect them. But whereas a small business, they're very personal. They thank you because you are the reason that their company or their business is still going and still functioning. You are the reason that they can afford to still have a livelihood of owning their own business. From the surveys, the information that I did gather and the answers that I did get do provide the needed information to support my hypothesis statement of Walmart is the cause of small business closure. And I have some charts and stuff in the next few slides. So for my findings, as some examples, in statement number 9 on my survey, it says small businesses usually close down shortly after a Walmart is open. And these are the answers. I had 3 people that strongly agreed, or 3 participants that strongly agreed, 4 participants that agreed, 2 that were neutral, and 1 that disagreed. And from this, if you take both the agrees and you put them together, you get 70% of the participants agree with this statement. And this statement supports my hypothesis statement or my research because it is another way of stating that statement. Small businesses will suffer and will lose money, will lose their customers, and will not be able to afford to keep that business open for the few that may come in. For statement number 11 off of my survey, it was Walmart has an advantage over small businesses. Walmart definitely does have an advantage over small businesses. They have the ability to order in bulk for not just one store, but many stores. So they can order large amounts, get them for really cheap, and then give you the low prices along with the variety that people look for when they go to Walmart. They also have the advantage of being able to have a big enough building to network with other companies like the banks and Subway and your nail salons and your hair salons. And then they even have a little arcade in there which draws the kids in. It keeps them occupied while mom and dad are checking out at the registers. And in the survey pie chart, you can see that 50% strongly agreed, 40% agreed, and 1% was neutral, or 10% was neutral. So from that, 90% agreed with the statement that Walmart does indeed have an advantage over small businesses. For statement number 14, it was that Walmart is affecting businesses all around them. So it's not just that they're affecting a small town business, but a small town bank. Little small town hair places, they're bringing in like fantastic Sams and cost cutters, the hair cutting places that are bigger companies, and they're combining. In Subway, everybody will just go to a Walmart and eat there instead of going to the other buildings that they have maybe throughout the town. It'll be easier to get your groceries and get your hair cut and then stop and get some food and then head home. And from this, it was a wider variety of people and answers. 30% strongly agreed, 20% agreed, 30% were neutral, and 2% or 20% disagreed. But if you group together again, they agree. It's 50% agree with the statement, whereas only 20% disagree. So this supports my findings too, because it does show that a majority of the people see that Walmart is affecting um, businesses, which is not good because it's going to eliminate their competition and eliminate variety or choices for us. My recommendations for Walmart would be to their placement. Instead of putting all the money into buying the plot in the middle of town, I believe that putting a Walmart on the outskirts of town may be a little bit of a better idea. This is because of the fact that people are more willing to drive to the outskirts of town to get all of their groceries in one time. Like they'll drive 5-10 miles for that, whereas they're not going to drive 5-10 miles to go to a small business to have a little bit higher of a price. So either way, if they drive a couple more miles to go to a Walmart, they're still saving money by saving on their groceries, being able to stop and go to the bank at the same spot, being able to grab some dinner, being able to get a haircut or their nails done, and have their kids play some games. They're also able to get their electronics, some movies, dog food, cat food. They have a big selection at a Walmart compared to a small business that's more of a in town, I need to run and grab some milk, or I need to run and grab some butter. Like the little things, the one item shopping times are what the small businesses thrive off of. Then their pricing, I think that if they keep the savings catcher and the price match, because that's been um, a big profit profit for them. If they keep those, just letting the other small businesses have their sales. So if a small business decides that, okay, we're going to do two for the price of one milk, Walmart should keep that out of their savings catchers and their price match, just so that people will go to the small businesses, give them some business, keep them going along with keeping Walmart going. Because Walmart's not going to suffer from a couple of sale items at a small business, whereas if Walmart takes the same sales from these small businesses, they're going to really suffer. They're going to close down like has been happening. And it's eliminating their competition, it's eliminating choice, variety, and it's just eliminating livelihood for the small business owners that have raised their family off of those wages and have um, kept small, hometown, friendly, welcoming customer service to our neighborhoods. Overall, in this research project, from the data and the information and my observations, I believe that um, the statement of Walmart is the cause of small business closure is a very accurate statement. And this is supported by the survey results, my observations, and some of my research. In all of this, I think that using the recommendations to relocate or to find better placement and to allow other companies or the other small businesses to have their sale items, I believe that this would allow for Walmart, small businesses, and other companies to coexist and to work together and to run efficiently. And not only that, but it'll allow Walmart to keep some sort of competition so that they have something to compare themselves to. Because if they eliminate the small businesses, the other companies, and keep everything in one building, they're not going to have anything to eventually compare themselves to see how they're doing for their customer service, for their sales, for anything, because they'll eventually make it so they're the only company that's running everything. Well, thank you for listening to my PowerPoint and listening to my speech. Um, I hope this information has been helpful, and the recommendations I hope you'll take into account. Thank you very much.